Hello and welcome back, everyone. I wanted to share an insight with you all that I had recently. I was having a conversation with someone and they were pretty unsettled about the idea that our government could possibly mandate us to get vaccinated for COVID-19. They didn't really trust the efficacy or the safety, and to be honest, neither do I. But what struck me about this conversation was that although we shared the same sentiment, we had very different reactions or responses to this idea. This other person was very upset, and I was a little more optimistic about what our options might be if it really came down to it. I could feel this person's discouragement, and no matter what I said, it was clear that they were almost defeated already by this idea, like the choice was already made, which got me to thinking, who made the choice in this scenario? And what I figured out was that our frustration and anger points directly to where we are disempowered. And my wish is to empower you. So I wanted to share my analysis of this conversation and point out the places where you could possibly empower yourself if you're feeling the same way. In this conversation, the anger stemmed from a few different things. The first one being the idea that people can tell us what to do to our own bodies. And I agree, it's an uneasy and frustrating feeling. But then I thought, hey, we don't get angry because people tell us to do stuff. We get angry because we allow ourselves to do things that we don't want to do. And I'm not talking about when you're a kid and your parents make you clean your room or say, no, you can't get a piercing. This is a much more adult type of autonomy that I'm talking about. And of course, the way you were raised will impact your sense of it. But in total truth, no one can make you do anything that you don't want to do. Only you decide when you comply with another person's wishes. So that was the first big reveal. The second one is the following. How convicted are you in your beliefs? Are you so convicted that no one can shake them? Think about it. If you don't really believe in something, you are open to other suggestions or influence, right? Or it could be the complete opposite. If you believe so strongly in something, you might not even entertain another idea. There have been so many people in history who have died for their beliefs, and no person or thing could threaten them to surrender. So big reveal number 2 is it's a matter of conviction. Number 3 is an interesting one because it's going to require a little introspection. Do you trust yourself to modify your beliefs when you come across new information? Can you trust yourself to do the right thing, not only for you, but for the greater good? In my experience, it's in the heat of the moment type of situations where we struggle to let go of our beliefs or change our perspectives. And that's because we're so attached to our beliefs. But just like any other operating system, if we get good at recalibrating and riding those waves, we can still preserve our truth while functioning as a part of a greater whole. To be perfectly honest, that is where my yoga practice has helped me the most. It's where I learned how to navigate all the dynamics of my body and my mind by just using my awareness. And gaining that type of intimate knowledge of yourself is what allows us to respond appropriately to the world around us. So to summarize, our ability to respond to a threat or stress on our beliefs relies on a few things. The first one being our sense of autonomy, the second one being our conviction in our beliefs, and number 3, our ability to ride those waves and adjust to new information. You see, we've been blessed with an infinite number of ways to respond to our environment, which is always changing. And like Greg Braden always says, the better we know ourselves, the better we respond to change. I hope you enjoyed my analysis of this conversation. I thought it was a good one to share. I think it's important to make decisions from a place of empowerment. It's what takes us from being in a false sense of victimhood into a place where we are living in our creation. I wish you all a beautiful day. Namaste.